That's entertainment. You know, when you're a great fighter, a great entertainer in general, you want the person to say, when do I see that person again? When's he gonna play again? When's he gonna fight again? You know, you gotta be able, if you can't put in seats, you're gonna get fired. You know.
40 fight, and I have Crawford winning this fight. Crawford's gonna win this fight doing something that nobody's done to Canelo.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say. And it didn't take me going to camp to know this.
Okay.
Weight gain. So Israel Majimov says that if Terence Crawford bulks up, that's going to be the biggest mistake he can possibly make. And that's going to hinder him from being victorious against Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Mike Tyson reflected on his training session with Terence Crawford, emphasizing the importance of maintaining composure ahead of the highly anticipated bout with Canelo. He noted that while the physical demands are immense, the real challenge lies in the psychological battle. According to Tyson, if Crawford can master his mindset and stay mentally grounded, he'll be able to perform at his peak and potentially make victory look effortless.
You know, fighters, pressure, right? Pressure's not being hit. You know, everybody thinks pressure's like getting on, staying on. Pressure's the thought of being hit. And that's how they fall. The thought is going, I'm not hitting that hard, but they think I am.
Right. So
it's all psychological.
Are you, when you're walking to the ring, are you noticing anything, or are you so locked in?
I see everything moving. Every person, every girl. I see everything.
Dude, your walk-ins would last longer than the fights sometimes.
Do anyone have a napkin on my towels? Because I'm sweating like a pit with one hole up here.
You're sweating.
We will get you one.
You're sweating.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're sweating like Charles Barkley at a spelling bee.
Yeah, I'm going to be sweating pretty hard there, too.
Exactly. So, Mike, we all know you hit hard. Who was the first person that when they hit you, you was like, oh, okay, this guy hits pretty hard?
Amir Khan, a seasoned boxer who once faced Canelo Alvarez in the ring, recognizes the magnitude of a potential showdown between Canelo and Terence Crawford. While he praises Canelo's experience and exceptional talent, Khan also highlights Crawford's formidable punching power. With Crawford moving up in weight and adapting impressively to the division, Khan believes he's stronger than ever. He emphasizes that this wouldn't be a one-sided affair. Both fighters bring elite skill sets to the table. For Khan, it's more than just another high-profile bout. It's a clash between two exceptional athletes, each capable of turning the tide with a single move. Though he respects Canelo's dominance at higher weight classes, Khan warns that Crawford's adaptability and mental toughness make the outcome difficult to predict.
He did that to Canelo after, so to your point, can Crawford do the same? Coming up from 54 and 47, can he, or will that, throw off the catch and shoot? I was going to catch and shoot.
We're not catching and shoot.
Make me think.
We're not catching and shoot.
We're catching and resetting and getting out of this range for a minute or two.
My fight with Arrow, I came back to the corner. I had a look on my face, I guess. And my dad said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Nothing." Like, classic Sean, nothing. He said, "Sean, tell me what's wrong." I said, my legs are kind of tight. He said, "Your legs kind of tight." He looked back, looked behind him. He would always do this and look back at the other corner. I don't know why. He looked back at them.
It was a habit, probably.
He said, "All right, we're not gonna use our legs so much this round." And I was thinking to myself, like, I need these legs.
I'm not trying to wear these shots.
Yeah. So to your point, when there's a feeling,
when the nervous system goes out,
where does that adjustment take place? Do you trust the adjustment? Do you implement it? So that next round I did settle down a little more. I was
lost the round.
Whatever. Hello.
I don't even know what round it is. Chill out.
He don't even know what round it is. Pour this water on you. So we got some time until this fight. So we ain't gotta pour it all out at one time. We'll work our way up to this one.
Try to get on big guests to lead up to the fight.
Expect some more very, very big guests, and expect some very, very big things from the Puerto Rico podcast. The week of Crawford versus Canelo, Canelo versus Crawford takes place here. What is that? September 6th?
13th. I was just gonna say, I've been critical of the fight because I felt like it serves as a foreground to the Ali Act stuff. And
analysts have been quick to raise concerns about Terence Crawford's age and limited experience in higher weight classes. By the time this potential fight materializes, Crawford will be 38, a stage in a boxer's career where physical decline often becomes unavoidable. Although he made a successful move to 154 pounds in his bout against Israil Madrimov, that lone performance hasn't fully convinced critics that he's prepared to face someone as battle-tested in the upper divisions as Canelo Alvarez. In boxing, age is more than just a number, it affects speed, reflexes, and recovery, all of which are crucial when up against a relentless and powerful opponent. While Crawford's technique and ring IQ remain elite, some analysts question whether his body can still keep up with the demands of such a high-stakes matchup. For many, this fight represents the most significant challenge of Crawford's career, technically, physically, and mentally.
September 13th, Las Vegas, Nevada, Allegiant Stadium, when he takes on another first ballot Hall of Famer, 4-division world champion, 2-time undisputed world champion, and reigning undisputed super middleweight world champion, Mexican superstar boxer Saul Canelo Alvarez, who is 63 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout. Terence Crawford had one fight at 154. That was against Israil Madrimov, the WBA junior middleweight world champion, right? And since then, Terence Crawford has moved up now to 168 to challenge Canelo Alvarez, okay? And so prior to that, he spent 5 years at what? Welterweight. So the concern that people have for Terence Crawford, rightfully so, is that Terence Crawford will be 38 years of age 2 weeks after the fight. So he's 37, okay? Terence Crawford has one fight at 154. Prior to that, Terence Crawford has been competing, okay, since 2018 for the last 7 years at 147. Since June of 2018, he's been fighting at 147. His only fight outside of that division in the last 5 to 6 years was his fight against Israil Madrimov at 154, which he won, unanimous decision. I thought he handily won, but people thought that he struggled. Israil Madrimov is now 10 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 7 wins by way of knockout because he lost his last fight to Mexican superstar, WBC junior middleweight interim champion Virgil Ortiz Jr.
Terence Crawford and his training team have repeatedly emphasized the depth and focus of their preparation. Aware of the pitfalls that led to Jermall Charlo's decisive loss to Canelo Alvarez, they've made it clear, Crawford is not Charlo. His style, discipline, and high ring IQ, they argue, set him apart. Their strategy is built on movement, precision, and intelligent pacing, recognizing that brute strength alone won't be enough to beat Canelo. Instead, they aim to frustrate him with slick defense and sharp counterpunching. Training camp has been intense, featuring grueling conditioning and targeted sparring sessions designed to simulate Canelo's trademark power and pressure. It's clear their plan is to outthink as much as outfight.
Team Crawford just revealed that they're currently working on making sure that the Omaha native doesn't end up like Jermall Charlo this coming September 13th when he faces Canelo Alvarez. Now this report comes from Boxing Scene, wherein it was just revealed by somebody from Crawford's camp that Terence Crawford is, quote, wary of repeating the mistake that former 154-pound champion Jermall Charlo made to a new weight limit without consideration of other factors. Boxing Scene further elaborated by saying that Crawford wants to retain his ability to fight with fluidity, maximizing the effectiveness of his power punches from both hands and ability to fight from a southpaw stance. With that said, Crawford's camp is now on full lockdown from the media or any sort of distraction up until fight week. Now, it's definitely worth considering that while it's
technicians and analysts have highlighted the natural risks that come with gaining weight as boxers move up in weight classes, chief among them, the potential loss of speed and agility. With Terence Crawford now entering heavier territory, recent photos showing a noticeably bulkier physique have sparked debate. However, experts caution that images can be deceptive, influenced by angles, lighting, and timing. Still, the core concern lingers. At this stage in his career, can Crawford maintain the quickness and mobility that have long defined his fighting style? While added muscle can increase punching power, it often comes at the cost of endurance and flexibility, critical factors when facing a pressure-heavy opponent like Canelo.
It's simply human. I mean, the more you age and the more weight you gain, of course you're going to be slower. Now, that doesn't mean that he's gonna be, that he won't be an elite fighter anymore. No, of course not. When you talk about special fighters like Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, they can handle themselves against anyone on any given night in the worst circumstances possible. That is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get back into the discussion when it comes to Terence Crawford carrying the 168 division, when it comes to the 168 pound weight. So if you actually think about it, Terence Crawford, how is the man looking right now? I know, yes, I know that we have seen the new pictures of Crawford with him looking absolutely massive, but I actually talked about this in one of my previous videos, ladies and gentlemen, which you can go back and check out. Terence Crawford, don't let these pictures fool you, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let these pictures fool you. Yes, of course Terence Crawford gained weight, but the pictures make it seem like Terence Crawford looks like a heavyweight. Let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, the lighting and the pump and the angle, everything plays a part in how you look in pictures. You know what I mean? Like, this is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. I can show you 2 pictures of me taken within 24 hours, and in one picture, my physique looks completely different than the other picture. One picture I can take after having a unbelievable workout, with a nice sweat on, with a nice pump, with some nice lighting, and a nice angle. I would look completely different than when I look right now, or getting out of bed, which I just